Feels like it's been forever since I made one of these videos, but I mean, it's been the normal amount of time. I just think October's just kind of like gone by pretty slowly, which I'm okay with because it's one of my favorite months out of the year. And just the weather's been really nice and it's like been super sunny and just hasn't really rained at all and just has been fairly mild and nice. And I mean, there's still like some like above average warm days here, but nothing crazy like summertime. So I'm feeling fairly lucky this year with the weather and such. But the time has come again to make another one of my um, listening update videos. And bear with me a little bit. It's kind of early in the morning now. It's only like 7 o'clock that I'm filming this. But just woke up early this morning and I've got going and helping a friend move today. So wanted to go ahead and knock it out so I could have time to do it this weekend. But been listening to a lot of stuff again. I'm pretty excited to make this video because I've just been excited about what I've been listening to. As I usually am. I'm always excited about music, but I just like especially like excited about like a few like core things I've really been listening to recently. Honestly, I'd say the biggest artist that I'm really gonna talk about that has really had taken up a big chunk of this month, like the whole month, honestly, is Judas Iscariot. This is a black metal artist that a lot of people are, most people that are into black metal know about this artist, American black metal artist from the 90s, started in like the mid 90s. I know people like cult, hardcore black metal fans don't like American black metal, but I do, and this artist is just really good. I've really been into them since I first started getting into black metal around like 2018 or so, and but I really was just listening kind of to their earlier, like their first like 3 albums, especially the first 2 albums, and I just never really like went further into their discography for some reason. But I've been listening to just like most of their discography now, a lot of their later stuff. Still been going back to their early albums too, as I really enjoy them. I've got the first 2 albums on CD, and but the 2 projects that I want to talk about the most and I've been listening to the most just kind of like go together back to back. Actually, I want to burn a CD of these together. Is the album Heaven in Flames, which is looked at as just classic, just like his best album. A lot of people look at it as his best album. I can definitely see that. I don't know why I slept on it for so long. I haven't really been like listened to it in the past. It's really just straight up like the exact type of black metal that I like so much. And I just really nailed it on this album. It's just really good, and just like I like the ambience it's mixed in with it so well, just perfectly, and just the vocals are just so good, and it's just really good. I just love this album, and the one that goes along with that and was released around the same time is the EP they released called The Throne Conquered and Forgotten. This is one that I listened to some in the past, but it never really clicked with me, but now it like really clicks with me. It's like one of its just like fastest and most pummeling and brutal sounding ones. It's definitely a lot faster compared to Heaven in Flames, but they still just kind of go together for me, and I really like listening to them back to back. Usually listen to Heaven in Flames first and then follow it with the EP, because it just like has that just like nice black metal, like kind of slower. I don't say it's slow, but you know what I mean, compared to other genres of metal music, extreme metal music especially. And then you just like kind of get this like kind of like outro, and then it just goes into this just like the EP is just like brutal fast, and it's just awesome. I've been really enjoying listening to those together in that order. Yeah, Judas Iscariot, that's like almost every day, honestly. I've just been really going back to him, just been pulling me back in so hard. I've just been listening to him so much. And I just really been listening to a lot of black metal in general, a lot of older black metal. Just going back to it is around the time of year I got into it, like 6 years ago. And just really been enjoying it. And Another artist that I would want to mention that I've never like, it's another American black metal artist from the early 2000s that a lot of people talk about and are into. Some people hate them. That's just how it is within this genre of music, as people know if you are into it. But the artist Disaster, I've just never really I like heard some of their stuff in the past, especially stuff from Nocturnal Poisoning. But it never like really like clicked with me that much, and I wouldn't say it's like completely clicked with me, but I've been listening to them a lot and it's like been kind of exploring some of their discography, and I've been liking it pretty good. They're known for their like depressive, suicidal DSPM, um, and yeah, I've been enjoying listening to them as well. I've just never really gotten too into them, um, and another one that I've been into in the past that I want to mention is Over. Um, but I've especially been listening to their first album, Bergtat, and their first two albums, but especially Bergtat because I'd never really like gotten too into it. It was one that kind of always like threw me off. I didn't really like it that much when I first started listening to them because there's like a lot of folk and stuff in with it. But now I like really appreciate it and really have been into that, and I've been enjoying that sound. I've always loved the album art for this album as well. Um, but yeah, I've just been listening to this album a lot, and then Nottin's, the classic black metal album that they followed up with that, and just I like listening to those back to back as well. They I mean they're very different sounds, but I really enjoy listening to those. And I just going back to other like Norwegian classic black metal, just some of my roots, just like Burzum and Immortal and stuff like that. I've really been enjoying listening to them as well. And I think that's going to continue, honestly. I've just been really into black metal again, especially the old school stuff, and I want to listen to more like albums by artists that I really like that I haven't really listened to as much in the past. I still just have some discographies to dig down when it comes to stuff like that, because I just like found like my core albums that I would always go back to. I think it's time to like really find some more stuff and dig a little bit deeper again into things. But other than that, other like extreme metal kind of stuff I'm listening to, a notable band would be Triumvir Foul. I've been into them. I've been like really intrigued by them in the past. But I never like they've really not clicked with me too much until now, honestly. I've like in recent years, like the few like when I first found out about them, like I tried to listen to them. I was like, yeah, this is fine, and it's just been just like fine. I mean, I still don't like absolutely love them, but they've always like pulled me back for some reason. I've always been like really intrigued by them and have wanted to go back and listen to them. And I've been listening to most of their stuff, especially their Urine of Abomination EP, which is very like noisy and just really a cool sounding one that I like to put on if I want to listen to something quick and brutal and stuff. And I like their sound. It's pretty cool. They have broken up at the time. I don't know if they'll ever get back together, but it would be cool to see them live one day if they ever do. Pretty cool band. And yeah. Other than that, that's kind of like wraps up like the extreme metal, I guess. But other metal stuff and metal sphere stuff, I've been listening to Breaking Benjamin a lot. Honestly, I don't know, it's just like crazy. I just like listen to like black metal and stuff like and like stuff like extreme metal and stuff, and then I just go to like the kind of like pop metal kind of stuff, and just stuff I grew up on. And that in general, I've just been like, I'm still kind of like stuck in that. Like I kind of was doing that last one too, I think, with like just going back to stuff from like my childhood, like System of a Down and Disturbed and Breaking Benjamin. And I just been listening to more Breaking Benjamin, because I just never really like heard much of their discography past like some of the stuff I listened to when I was a kid. And I've been listening to their latest two full-length albums, which is Dawn Before, or Dusk Before Dawn. No, Dark Before Dawn. Yeah, Dark Before Dawn, and then their 2018 album Ember. And honestly, I really like both of these albums. It's just like their sounds. It's just like it's this sound they've like always kind of had, and it's just like really comforting to me, and I really enjoy it. And it's just really, I'm just really enjoying listening to that. Honestly, I've been going back to them quite often, especially Dark Before Dawn. I've been kind of listening to those back to back together if I have the time to do that, but I've really been enjoying listening to those. And it's just such a comfort artist to me. I just really love going back to them and listening to them. And I have no shame at all. Even I was thinking about doing like a tier list for like butt rock and stuff, but like there's not really any good ones online, and I'm just like not familiar with some of the butt rock and stuff. But Breaking Benjamin, core butt rock band, but I fucking love them. But another artist in the metal sphere I want to talk about is Chat Pile. They released a new album, Cool World, and I've really been liking it. Like, I like it even more than their first album, God's Country, and it's like basically kind of a follow up to that. It's very similar to that album. It's kind of like the same formula, but there's just something about this new album I just really like. I just really like it, and I've been excited about listening to it. They really sucked me back in. I listened to God's Country. I was pretty into it when it first came out, and they kind of like blew up a little bit in the underground. Like people were really like hearing about them and knowing about them. But that kind of like turned me a little bit, I guess. I'm not gonna lie. Like since they're like they started getting a little bit more popular. So like, but when they released this album, I just gave it a shot, and it just like pulled me in, and I just like was like, wow, like this is really good. I've really been enjoying listening to it. Really good sound, just like kind of noisy sludge metal, and it's really just solid weirdo stuff, and I really enjoy it and appreciate it. But now kind of turning into other genres here out of the metal sphere. I have been listening to Yeet a lot, the hip-hop trap rage artist. I've just been like really, like I didn't really know about him until last year. He released an album in like January of last year called Afterlife, and I saw a review of it online, and like I just was like kind of intrigued by like the album artwork and stuff, and I ended up listening to it, and I was like kind of like hesitant at first, but then like there's just like some like beats on that thing, and just like some songs that are just like, wow, this is like really cool sounding. Like it's just like kind of like psychedelic trap. I just really like that sounds, and I had like been into Playboi Carti and stuff, and before I had really like listened to him, but I just like that album like actually kind of like was like, wow. I found myself coming back to it quite often, and like I don't know why. I just still like am stupid that I didn't put it on my year-end list last year, because I like really liked that album. That would have been pretty high on it. I don't know why I didn't mention it, because I've been listening to it like since early last year when it first came out. But I don't know. I think I was just like slipped my mind, or just like I didn't feel like putting it on there for some reason. But I haven't really been listening to Afterlife that much, but I have been listening to both the albums that he's released this year. And what kind of got me back on to listening to him, like he's always kind of like been there, and I like knew he released an album earlier this year in February, but I wasn't that into it and wasn't really listening to it that much. But he just released like a few weeks ago an album called Lifestyle, and it just kind of like surprised me. I was like, oh man, like he just released like another over an hour worth of material when he already did that earlier this year. And it was just kind of like a surprise. I didn't know he was going to be dropping something. I don't know if anybody did, honestly. I don't really like keep up with like the news or like hip hop world too much. I just kind of like see what pops up like on my streaming or news or whatever. And I ended up listening to it, and it's just like an album full of bangers, like just trap rage bangers. And I just really like it. It's just like really pulling me in. It's like nothing like groundbreaking or special about it really, but it's just like I just really like that style. I guess it reminds me of Playboi Carti, and just like hypnotic, like pulls you in, just like super addicting sounding, and that's why it like kind of pulls me in. And it's just I just really like it. It's just really cool sounding. But since I've been listening to that, I've been going back and listening to his other album released this year called 2093. And I've really been like, especially in like the past few days, honestly, I've been really wanting to go back and listen to that album quite a lot. It's just like it's different. Like he's definitely experimenting more on that album and just bringing kind of an interesting just sound to the table. And I've really been enjoying it and been appreciating it a lot more. And I've been really getting pulled back into it. And I'm like excited to listen to it today. Honestly, like I want to listen to that album today. And I just really been enjoying that stuff. And his past three albums, like I haven't even listened to his earlier stuff, and I might go back sometime and do that. But the past three albums, really solid. Honestly, I just really like the music on them. And I'm not like a huge fan of like trap music. People on my channel that watch me like know that. Like I just not like I've never been like huge into trap. Like I like trap music. I was around when I was really into hip hop when trap really started becoming a thing. Like Waka Flocka and Future were around back in the like the turn of the 2010s and stuff. But I just like when it came into like later like I got back into like rock and metal music back like in like my junior year of high school, and I just kind of got out of hip hop again, and like was just like so intrigued by all this whole world that I needed to explore again. And I was kind of like turned off by popular music, and I didn't want to listen to popular stuff as hip hop just and trap just became so big, like the biggest genre. And I was just like kind of deterred by it for years, and then I've just gone back and like honestly probably like 2018 is when I really kind of started going back and listening to some trap music, and that was when I discovered Playboy Cardi, and I really liked his stuff. But a lot of other stuff that I kind of discovered at that time didn't really stick with me as much. But he's an artist that sticks out. But yeah, he really solid if you're like into trap or if you're hesitant about him. I'd recommend listening to him. Honestly, it's like really some cool sounding stuff, and it's fun, and I've been enjoying that quite a lot. Some other new releases that have come out this month that I want to mention is Elucid released his album Revelator, and I was looking forward to this album coming out. I haven't listened to it too much. I haven't found myself coming back to it too much, but I still enjoy it. It's a really solid, like conscious, like abstract hip hop album, and I really like Elucid and Arm & Hammer, Billy Woods, all that stuff. Billy Woods, but I really enjoy. I really enjoy that style of hip hop, and been enjoying listening to that. And I'm sure it'll be pulling me back, and I'll be listening to it more. It's been kind of still there in my brain, and I've just been like excited about other things more, and I've been wanting to listen to things. And another artist I want to mention is an artist called Baby. They released an album called Daredevil 2000. And it's just really just like a cool sounding album. I just like just the electronic, just like dancey just kind of sound to it. It's just like the production's really good, and it's fun. I just really like it. And yeah, I don't really know what to say about it. I haven't listened to it too much to like really go too in depth about it, but it's just one that kind of popped up on my radar and was interested in. And I'm almost done here. So I want to just mention a few albums that like last weekend that kind of stick out to me, that I was like been going back and listening to a few albums that have been released this year that I've been wanting to just go and revisit again. And the two that are most sticking out the most are the MGMT Loss of Life album that came out this year. This is like an album that I just like has really grown on me throughout the year. It came out in February, and I just like I made a video about it and just like wasn't like that excited about it, and I was like confused. I didn't really know what was going on. But it's like really grown on me ever since it came out, and I've been finding myself coming back to it like so much throughout the year, like very spaced out. And I just really like the album now, and I like sing along to it now. Just MGMT is just like, special to me. Like they're just a special band, special duo group. I just really love their music. It's comforting to me. They've been a part of my musical life for quite a while, and I've just really been enjoying it. I've been enjoying going back to it, and I just love them. I love them so much, and I just love that they never like sold out or anything after they made their first album with some pop hits on it. But they've never really had any hits after that, really, to be honest. But they're just doing what they want to do, and I really appreciate that and I respect that, and I really like them. And another band is Idols, the punk bands, punkish band, post-punk band, I don't know what you want to call them, really punky band from the UK. I've been into Idols for quite a while, a few years, and I think I'd say their first album is my favorite by them, but I've been going back and listening to Tang, which is the album they released early this year, one I was looking forward to an extent. I'd call it more of an art pop album. It's definitely a lot different than their other stuff, and they've kind of been getting into that with like even with their past album, Crawler, came out in 2022, which is actually when I kind of really got into them, when that album came out, and but Brutalism, definitely my favorite album by them. But Tang, it's pretty solid. I don't love everything about it, but I do. It's been pulling me back in, and when I listen to it again, definitely going to be one of my top albums of the year. Yeah, just a solid kind of art punk, cool sound. I like that they're experimenting with their sound and such. One more artist I want to mention, that this wasn't like from earlier this year, it's a little bit more recent, but there's a band called, or electronic artist called Floating Points, and their album Cascade that came out. I mentioned them probably like a month or two ago, so it hasn't been that long, but really just great, just kind of just like ambient techno music, and just really, I've been listening to it. Just I love when I'm just sitting chilling downstairs or something, like playing Minecraft or something. I like turning this album on, and that was just like an album I was like listening to with those other two I just mentioned, the MGMT and the Idols album. I just like listened to those three in a row, and I just really like this album. It's really solid. Definitely gonna be on my top albums of the year as well. So yeah, that kind of sums up this month of October. So basically, old black metal and some newer stuff stuff that's released this year that I've been listening to for the most part. But as always, let me know what you guys have been listening to. I always love to hear what you guys have been discovering and such. And yeah, I'm gonna end the video out how I always do. If you please support my friends here on the side, that would be awesome. And thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.